Hello, Linda.
Well, hello there, Sean.
All right, we're going to go live here in a few minutes. Let's give it about a minute so people can jump on in.
All right.
If anybody has any questions out there, and feel free to ask in the chat in the comment section, and we'll do our best to answer your question. Looks like we have about 9 people currently, and we're going to get started here pretty soon. We have about 10 questions or so that we're going to go over and let you take the floor here pretty soon. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear
Awesome.
me?
Somebody said, "Yo, Linda is a beast." That's a plant. It's probably Linda's daughter. All right. Well, for those that don't know me, my name is Sean Schickel. I'm president of Patriot Family Financial. We're located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And it was Kevin. There you go. Kevin Hyde, an agent in Florida, one of our agents.
Hi,
Uh,
Kevin.
and we have with us Miss Linda White, who is one of our downline agents. Linda, tell us about yourself, where you're from, kids, grandkids, whatever you want to tell us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, just some personal stuff.
Okay, yeah. So I relocated here from Minneapolis, Minnesota in 2019. And yeah, so I'm a grandmother of 7, mother of 3. Um, and I joined the insurance industry in 2020.
Okay.
Before that, I was in the corporate world, um, lots of different careers, but this is where I'm at now.
Awesome. And what made you decide to get involved in insurance?
Insurance found me. At the time, it was during the height of COVID. I really wasn't looking for anything, and I was on Indeed and just kind of just messing around, and this Bankers Life Insurance Company found me, and that's where I landed. It's where I
Okay, so
started my insurance career.
you started with bankers. A lot of agents do that. I didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of agents start with an organization similar to that. How was that experience for you?
It was I had some success, but I had some struggles. Ultimately, um, I learned that I've always known that hard work was the key to success. So I was not a stranger to hard work. I worked 6 days a week. I came into to the office, even though we didn't have to come in because of COVID, but I came in. I needed to be near the source. Okay, so I came into work, like I said, 6 days a week,
Yeah.
including Saturdays, and yeah, lead generation was a struggle. That's what I encountered there.
So leads were a challenge for you. Okay.
Absolutely,
How did
yeah.
that work? If you don't mind saying how that part worked.
How it worked?
Yeah, like
Well,
did you just get leads, or how did that work?
yeah. We yeah. So we had leads, T65 leads, various insurance leads. Um, you know,
Probably age leads. Yeah, and then you basically said to contact them, go talk to them, go up the door,
Yeah,
knock.
I did. Yeah, we did door knocking, telephone calls. Lots of cold calling back then, door knocking.
Okay, cool.
So
So you got started in what year was it? 2020.
2020, that's when
Okay,
it
awesome.
that all started for me.
What along the way, you've been doing this a couple of years now. How what were some of the struggles that you've encountered along the way?
Well, lead generation being the biggest struggle.
Yeah.
That being the biggest struggle, which changed when I joined Patriot Family Financial. That it was no longer a struggle, but yeah. For me, hard work wasn't the struggle, but for a lot of agents, I know that that is a struggle because it is a lot of hard work in this business. You do have to show up. You do have to, make the calls. You do have to do the work. There's some hustle to it. And so for me, that wasn't a problem. I was always ready to work and ready to hustle.
Okay. How has your selling insurance experience, how has that changed from what you did before to what you do now?
Um, like I said, now that I'm here, lead generation isn't a problem. Um, I'm having success. My first year here, I sold over 500 policies. I'm approaching the 1,000 policy mark now. So, yeah,
How many did you sell, would you say, in the couple of years prior to that?
um, a handful
Yeah, yeah,
of Medicare policies in a
yeah,
year. A
yeah.
handful.
4 or 5 a month, would you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a
And
handful.
now, do you sell 4 or 5 a day today?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My average is about 30 a month. You
Okay.
know, on a slow month, 20 a month. But yeah,
What's a good month?
definitely
It's like a great month.
a great month, 40 a month.
I think you've done a little more than that.
Well, AEP, the numbers are quite higher,
Yeah,
like
right.
maybe 70,
70,
during AEP. Yeah,
60s, 70s. Yeah. AEP is a
yeah,
lot of fun. And
yeah,
a lot, a
yeah.
lot. What are your goals for you in your future when it comes to selling insurance? Your short term, midterm, long term. What are your goals?
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to be known in my community as the insurance lady, the person that's going to be there to help them, to help people solve their insurance problems, anything related healthcare, life, annuities. I want to be known as that person that's helping people.
Okay. Awesome. Um, let me ask you this. What advice can you give to an agent who is struggling to get sales? Well, what kind of advice can you give to a struggling agent that's out there?
Yeah. Uh, not being afraid of the word no. Get used to the word no. You got to get through the no's to get to your yes, and so don't take it personally. You're definitely gonna have a lot of no's.
Yeah.
There's a book, Go for the No. Yes is the destination, but no is how you get there. So just not being afraid of that, and just getting comfortable with people saying no and just going on to the next.
Yeah, I know I struggle with it a lot. Um, I used to lay up in the middle of the night looking at the ceiling of my bed with lots of anxiety. I'd get I even got days where I made pretty good money, and I just couldn't sleep. But I was just because I focused on all the no's as opposed to the one or two yeses that I got, and it can hold people back for sure if they allow them to do it. And so I guess one of your little secrets is that you just don't allow it to get to you.
Right, right. Yeah, and you expect it, and you just move on,
What are
because
some
I know that what I'm doing ultimately I'm helping people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is about helping people. What are some of
Yeah.
the things that you do if you are having a rough time? Like, do you just get up and throw water in your face, or what do you do?
I'll just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. I have a mirror at my desk. I'm always looking and smiling and making sure that, I have this, I'm smiling when I'm talking to people, so it comes across to them on the phone. Here I am, here to help you. I've got the solution to your problems. If you listen to me, take this call and talk to me. I'm going to help you.
Yeah. And by the way, for anybody out there that's watching and wants to ask questions, throw a question in the chat, and we'll be more than happy to ask her the question. We only have probably a couple more minutes left, so feel free to throw a question out there. What advice would you give to a brand new agent starting from scratch, just got licensed? What kind of advice would you give that brand new agent?
Other than just not being afraid of the no's and expecting the no's, because you're going to get no's.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, well, I guess I would have to say join Patriot Family Financial. Sean, he didn't tell me to say this, but he has a system of doing things, and it has just made such a big difference for me in my career. I've had success here. I've seen success. You want to see success because that makes you want to keep going. And so, because I've had success and I continue to have success here, it makes me want to keep going, and have more success. So, you got to have a system. You got to have a system, and you can't be afraid of the no. And
Okay.
if you don't have a system, join us. We have one here.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So there was a question from a Facebook user. How are you generating leads to write 500 a year? I'll answer that question because I do all the lead generation along with my son Evan. We generate leads all over the place, in every state, literally in
Yeah.
every nook and cranny and corner, in mountaintop and in the oceans, or wherever we can get a lead. We're going to generate that lead using various methods, including direct mail, um, digital leads, whatever it takes. That's what we do. We generate a lot of leads. We spend a lot of money on lead generation. Don't get me wrong. We spend pretty close to 7 figures a year. Actually, we do spend more than 7 figures a year generating leads. So, we distribute those to our agents, and the agents will purchase them at cost, which is usually very low. The typical, in terms of price, the market value. That's how the leads are coming in. Here is one from Eddie off of YouTube. Linda, do you conduct seminars? Do you do seminars?
Yes, I do. I do. Medicare educational seminars right here in the office. That's a great way for people to get to know me and they feel comfortable with me. And yeah, I have lots of appointments generated from the seminars.
Yeah, and that's a big part of what a lot of our agents do. Let's talk about that briefly. What kind of response do you get from people from those seminars?
Well, they're thankful because they've gotten some information now and some answers to their questions because Medicare is confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And so from the seminars, they're so thankful that they've gotten some of their questions answered and they feel comfortable. Now they're ready to set an appointment and talk with me and, work with me and
Yeah,
and refer their friends and family.
yeah, it just opens up the line of communications. And I've seen some of the seminars that you've done, and people cheer at the end. You get lots of recommendations. People will write nice notes like, "Hey, Linda did a great job, and Linda made this so easy for me." Um,
Yeah.
and I think also one of the benefits of a seminar is you don't have to chase the client anymore. They're now chasing you as the expert instead of you chasing them, that most agents do. Um,
Yeah.
People will constantly walk in and try and set up an appointment with you, or call and try and set up an appointment with you. So yeah, I think seminars. Would you say that's your favorite person to talk to in terms of leads that you could talk with? What would be the best lead source that you've seen?
For me, I love the face to face, the one on one.
Yeah.
You know, of course, most of those 500 sales a year is over the phone, but I do love the face-to-face
Yeah.
interaction with people.
And that's coming from seminars primarily.
Coming from seminars, yeah, people walking in the door,
Yeah.
referrals. Yep.
Excellent question. Thank you, Eddie. It's a big part of what we recommend for agents to do. We have a course that's a plug and play package for all of our agents to jump into, by the way, where they can learn how to do their own seminars. It's super easy. I actually fly out and help agents. I'm doing one here in California before long, and I'll be going down to Florida before long to help an agent get started and do their first seminar if they want. We're pretty active with our downline agents to help get them going as well. It does cost a little bit of money, certainly, so you're going to have to invest in your business. And that short-term cash flow crunch can create a lot of problems for a lot of agents. So, we try to help out with some of that when we can. Last question, Linda. This day and age, it's not normally a question that I would ask, but I want to ask this question because I think it's important today, given the world and all the various things that are out there. But, you're a successful Black woman in the insurance industry, and there's just not enough, in my opinion, Black women in this business. What advice would you give to other Black women to help them in their insurance success and in their career?
Yeah, yeah. The challenge is being seen and being heard. Just know that we belong here. We add value, of course. You got to put in the work, of course. We're not afraid to hustle and we're not afraid of hard work, and that's what you have to do in order to stand out because that's what you want to do. Stay focused on your goals. Just
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
and work.
I think it truly doesn't matter where you come from. We all have our backgrounds and things like that, but insurance is the great equalizer. And I think a person who works hard, especially as you work really hard, there's just a lot to be done and a lot to be had for people that are willing to put in the work and willing to put in the hours. So,
That's the key.
any final questions from out there, or Linda? Do you have any final things you'd like to say?
No, I mean, thank you for this opportunity, Sean. I really appreciate it.
Well, we love you. Thank you very much. And we don't have any more questions, so we're going to go.
All right. Well, everybody have a great day out there.
All right. Thanks, Linda.
You're welcome.